Okay, so let's go to the next. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobisham Sapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapatakamalам Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुगं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्. So just so Hare Krishna. So let's see. Krishna's qualities inspire surrender. So this is a very wonderful. Actually, today's chapter is talking about a lot of wonderful things. As I was saying, chapter 22 is a very, very important chapter for all of us as practitioners, because we can learn a lot of things from this chapter. And today we are going to see many practical things. Let's see what is that. First about the qualities of the Lord. And also in this one topic, we are seeing about surrender, the different aspects of surrender. What does surrender mean? Because many times we heard the word surrender and it sounds actually sounds very big, but what actually surrender means. So if in future someone says, we hear anywhere surrender to the Lord, the word, actually what it actually involves, we will see in detail today, and how actually one surrenders. So it is mentioned that Krishna's qualities are so wonderful that it inspires one to surrender. And what are those qualities of Krishna which inspires a person to surrender? Krishna is kind to his devotees. Bhakta Vatsala, the quality of being kind to his devotees as Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna is very grateful, Kritagnya, fully capable, Samartha, and magnanimous, Vadanya. That's why Mahaprabhu is called Mahavadanyaya. A learned man naturally gives up all other engagements and serves Krishna. He does not give up Krishna to worship anyone else. Krishna fulfills his devotees' desires and he sometimes even gives himself to them. Still, he neither increases nor decreases by such activity. So it is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So basically, if Krishna is not obliged, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is not obliged to fulfill anyone's desire. He is independent Lord. He can, if he likes, he can do it. If he don't like, he don't have to do it. He's not obliged in any way. But yet we see in all the pastimes, from our scriptures, that how Krishna reciprocates to the desire of his devotees, who are very sincere in heart. He fulfills the word which he is giving to his devotees. Throughout we see that. And these are the qualities which actually makes a person very attracted to Krishna. For example, if we see in the Mahabharata, a very beautiful picture, we can see that Krishna is carrying the chariot wheel and running towards Bhishmadev. A very beautiful picture where we see that Arjuna is holding the lotus feet of Krishna, and Krishna is actually running. This scene is such a heart-touching scene. Basically, what is this scene all about is Bhishma Dev desired that he wants to see Krishna, fight against him. And at the same time, Krishna is given a promise that he will not take any weapon in the battlefield. And here is Arjuna, and Arjuna knew this promise of Krishna. And when Krishna saw Bhishma Dev is violently attacking Arjuna, and immediately Krishna took the chariot wheel, and he was proceeding towards Bhishma Dev. And when Arjuna saw that, he felt, oh, I don't want my Lord to break his promise. He's not thinking, oh, Krishna, you are actually trying, you are protecting me, and he's keeping cool. I don't know if we were in that position, what we would be doing. But Arjuna's mood is that, oh, my Lord has given a promise and I don't want him to break the promise. So he's holding his feet, and Krishna not to proceed further. And here is Bhishma Dev. He feels so happy that Krishna is fulfilling his desire. So it's such a loving, Krishna reciprocating to the loving sentiments of his devotees. And how the devotees are also having that, loving exchange with the Lord. So, because Krishna has given that word, he is fulfilling that, and he's not obliged. He don't have to fulfill because he is the Supreme Lord. But yet we see so many wonderful pastimes, how the Lord is like, is always inclined to for his devotee, is even ready to break his promise. Generally, if someone breaks a promise, people may, think, you are the Supreme Lord and you should be setting an example. You're doing this. Krishna is not caring about all that. For him, image is not important. In the material world, for us, image is very important. For maintaining our image, for maintaining our good name, we are even ready to sacrifice many other things, But Krishna is is quite opposite. Krishna is ready to sacrifice. Even he gets a bad name, he don't bother. He's not bothered. But what is so important for him is his devotees. So we see that, the same thing happened. Krishna is also called Ranchor. Ranchor means one who has left the battlefield. People call, when someone leaves the battlefield halfway, you call that person as a coward. But Krishna didn't care about it. He left the battlefield halfway. Why? Because he got a letter from a Brahmana that Rukmini is actually, seeking Krishna's presence immediately and to protect her from marrying to Shishupal. So immediately Krishna left the battlefield and he ran, to protect, Rukmini. So we see that Krishna is ready to take even the ill names, ready to take anything what comes, what people would think. But his all focus is in fulfilling the protecting his devotee and to fulfill the desires of his devotee. For him, devotee is the highest priority. His personal name, fame, glory, whatever it is, that is all secondary. But in material world, for us, our name, position, our mind is, I am important. And second is even my family and other things. But all others comes next. For me, what society would say, half of the life, many people in this world, we live, the way people live is that what the society would think. That's the way our life is all designed. In the sense, we like to live like that. How many people live a life to their content, or as per the scriptures? People think, oh, if I do this, what people would say, what my neighbor would say, what the other person would say. Half the time thinking about, and then they don't live a very satisfactory life. But here you see how Krishna keeps not himself as a priority, himself in the center. He's Supreme Lord. In fact, he has all the right to keep him in the center. but he keeps his devotee in the center. So as a practicing devotees, what should be the inspiration we should get it from this? The Lord is keeping the devotee in the center, and the pure devotees keep Krishna in the center. So the inspiration is that how we should replace our I, me, and mine and keep Krishna in the center. So that is something, so that's why pure devotees, when they see Krishna's so sweet qualities, wonderful qualities, they naturally feel, Krishna, what else I can do? I'm just surrendered at your lotus feet. You do whatever you want. I'm attracted. Who else can be so sweet, so wonderful? So that's a point here. A learned man naturally gives up all other engagements and serves Krishna. And he doesn't think that, okay, Krishna is not fulfilling my desire, so I will go around and see someone else who can fulfill my desire. He's so loyal and he's very faithful, and he knows the Lord will surely protect him and surely reciprocate. That is the quality of the pure devotees. So we see here, this is a very beautiful verse. Actually, I'll read that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhava is quoting this one. The verse is a very beautiful verse. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th verse. Okay. As it says that, Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam Jignasya paya api ashadvi Lebe gatim dhatri ajitam tatonyam Kim vadayalum sharanam pratim. So it says that, oh, how wonderful it is. Putana, the sister of Bakasura, wanted to kill Krishna by smearing deadly poison on her breast and having Krishna take it. Nonetheless, Lord Krishna accepted her as his mother, and thus she attained the destination befitting Krishna's mother. Of whom should I take shelter but Krishna, who is most merciful? So Bakasura's sister is Putana, and we know that Putana came to kill Krishna, but Krishna only took the good thing. In Putana, of all that she did was she came in the role of a mother, Dhatri. So that Krishna actually considered, and gave her the position of his own mother. So this one, we see that Vyasadeva, when Sukadeva Goswami came out of the womb of his mother, he was there in his mother's womb for a very long time, and he actually requested the Lord, I will only come if you give me the assurance that I will not be affected by Maya. So after he got the assurance, then only he came out. And as soon as he came out, he started walking. He grew up, as a full-grown personality, and then he walked out. And Vyasadeva was wondering where he's walking. And that time, actually, what happened was Vyasadeva could see that Sukadeva Goswami was more towards the attracted towards the impersonalist feature of the impersonalist nature, that he was actually meditating on the impersonal form of the Lord. So he was thinking, I got a son after a lot of prayers and everything, but he's towards this impersonal, going towards the impersonalism. So Vyasadeva was very worried. So he sent 2 of his disciples, and with the place where Sukadeva Goswami was meditating, his 2 disciples were sent, and he gave them the instruction to sing about the glories of the Lord. So one of the words they sang was this one, how wonderful it is. Putana, the sister of Bakasura, wanted to kill Krishna by smearing deadly poison on her breast and having Krishna take it. Nonetheless, Lord Krishna accepted her as his mother, and thus she attained the destination befitting Krishna's mother. Of whom should I take shelter but Krishna, who is most merciful? So when this verse was recited, and they recited one more verse, which is actually, glorifying the beautiful form of Krishna. So as soon as when he heard, he was so attracted, and all these devotional emotions came, and then he went and asked them, whom you are glorifying? And then, of course, they took them back to Vyasadeva, and then Vyasadeva instructed him. And we see that, of course, he Srimad Bhagavatam he spoke. So we see that this is the power of hearing the glorification of the Lord. Because see, we all are spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna. We all love Krishna, but now it is completely in a disabled mode. We have forgotten completely about it. But the moment we keep hearing about the Lord, our heart gets purified. And then one day we see that, we are able to re-establish back our connection with the Lord. We can revive our lost relationship with Krishna. That's why it's very important. Many great personalities, they got reminded by hearing about the Lord. If that is the case with the great personalities, what about us? We should be constantly hearing the glorification of the Lord, how kind he is, how merciful he is, what are his wonderful attributes. When we keep hearing, then the hard heart, one day it will melt. Hearing those pastimes, hearing those wonderful qualities of the Lord, then we can also, connect back to the Lord. So that is the point. So we see here there are two kinds of devotees mentioned here, Akinchana and Sharanagata. Who is this? Who is an Akinchana? Akinchana is a personality, is fully satiated and free from all material desires. That means this person is fully satisfied. He's not looking out for anything external which will make him happy. He's fully content. So that's why he's free from all the material desires. It's not that, oh, if I get this object or if I get this position, then I'll become happy. That's a material desire. Because we think we will become happy by the external things. But whereas an Akinchana is someone, he's fully content. He's happy with what he has got. So he's free from all material desires. And who is this Sharanagata? Sharanagata is a person who is fully taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. And he is not keeping any reservation or any okay, if you do this, then I surrender, or if you don't do that, then I will, I won't be surrendered. He's completely giving himself. Atma Samarpana, or in fact, we say the word Atmani Vedanam. In 9 process of devotional service, we have the last one, Atmani Vedanam, where we see Bali Maharaj, right? Bali Maharaj, he completely gave himself to the Lord. When Lord Vamanadev, as Trivikrama, he said, okay, 3 steps of land you wanted, no? Okay, now let me become bigger. So the small little child grew up as Trivikrama, and then in 1 step, he covered all this earth, the material world, and then another step, he covered the entire sky, and where to keep the 3rd one? So then Bali Maharaj offered himself, I am surrendered, my dear Lord, I am defeated. You please do whatever you want. And then so that is completely giving oneself without any reservation. So they are called Sharanagata, fully surrendered devotees. They are not just satisfied and free from material desires, but they also take shelter of Krishna. That's the additional thing. They fully surrender to the Lord. So that is devotees. This is a very important point for all of us to contemplate, hear first and contemplate, because many times we hear the word surrender. Surrender means the 6 aspects should be there. That is called surrender. If if we say someone is a surrender devotee, or someone wants to surrender to the Lord, or Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masuchara. Okay, surrender unto me. What does it mean? That means these 6 things. What are the 6 things? It's good to know at least, so that we are at least theoretically we know, and we can make an endeavor, to attain it at some point of time. What is that? Acceptance of things favorable to devotional service. So the first thing is accepting only those which are favorable. I'll go through that. Let's read it first. Then second thing is that is called Anukulasya Sankalpa. Second one is pratikulyena vivarjanam, that is rejection of unfavorable things. That which is not favorable for our Krishna consciousness, we should not accept. What is the third one? Conviction that only Krishna will give protection. Rakshishyati Vishwasho, having that strong faith that Krishna will protect me. Then what is that? The fourth one is acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master. He is my master, I am his servant. So acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, and full self-surrender, giving himself completely. And the third one is humility. Humility means considering oneself as very insignificant. I'm not so great. I'm just a very insignificant person. You are so kind enough, my dear Lord. You are great. I am insignificant. So humility. So these are six aspects of surrender. What is the first thing is accepting things favorable. Okay. Even we see that, for example, Ekadasi. Ekadasi is a day. Yesterday was, today is Ekadasi, the auspicious day. So Ekadasi is a day which is very dear to the Lord. It's a favorite day of the Lord. So observing Ekadasi is a favorable item of devotional service. So like that, accepting those things which are favorable to devotional life. Chanting the holy name, hearing about the Lord, all the 9 crores of devotion service, and even practically different things, whatever helps in our devotional life. Rejection of unfavorable things. There are certain do's, and basically it is do's and don'ts. Certain things are not helpful, like the 4 regulatory principles: intoxication, illicit relationships, gambling, killing unnecessarily, living entities. So these things, meat eating. So these all are unfavorable things. So don'ts, do's, and don'ts. Then conviction, having that strong faith, Krishna will surely protect me. As this statement goes, Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake. Krishna wants to kill someone, no one can protect him. And if Krishna wants to give protection, no one can kill him. So surely having that conviction, Krishna will protect me. And accepting the Lord as my own master. He is my guide, he is my master, he will, he is my well-wishing friend. So I am his servant and I have to serve him, having that mood. And then giving oneself completely, in the sense not keeping, okay, maybe I'll give 80% to him and 50% I will have my own ways of doing things, or selective hearing, selective following, not like that. Giving oneself completely, having that faith and giving oneself to the Lord. And humility, very humble, not proud. See, I'm giving all these things to the Lord. I'm so insignificant. So many lives have wasted, the opportunities. And so many things, so many mistakes and things I'm committing in my life. I'm actually fit. I'm not fit to receive any mercy, actually. But Krishna, you're so kind. You are so kind that you are showering this costless mercy upon me. So like that, considering oneself as a very insignificant person, and also not just that, whatever mercy we are receiving is purely, whatever wonderful things we are doing is only because of the mercy of Guru, Krishna, and Vaishnavas. So that is the mood. So when these 6 aspects are there, then we call that as a surrender. These are the six divisions of surrender, or 6 aspects of surrender. So that is what actually means surrender to the Lord. So it starts from accepting things favorable and giving up things which are unfavorable, which is the starting element first. A surrendered person will naturally only accept things which are favorable, and he will reject things which are unfavorable. Okay, so that's the point. A fully surrendered devotee takes shelter at the holy place where Krishna had his pastimes and prays, "My Lord, I am yours," and thus enjoys spiritual bliss. Krishna accepts him as one of his confidential associates. So a fully surrendered devotee tells to Krishna that I am yours, you do whatever you want with me. Ashlishya va padaratam pinashtumam adashanam marmahatam karutuva yada data va vidatu lampato mat prananatastu sayevanam paraha. Shikshashakam last verse we see that you can make me broken hearted by not present before me. You can embrace me or make me broken hearted by not present before me. You have you do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. So that is the mood of the devotees. We see that in Ramayana also. Lord Ram says, if anyone says once, I am yours, then I have taken the vow that I will protect that person. So that's why Vibhishana, even though he was Ravana's brother, coming in the demonic line, but Vibhishana came and surrendered to the Lord. He said, my dear Lord, I am yours. So then, Lord Rama accepted Vibhishana. And in fact, he told, even if Ravana comes to me and says, this day onwards, I am, yours and I am surrendering to you, then I will, immediately accept him and give him all protection. So that is the heart of the Lord. The Lord is so kind that he doesn't keep remembering. In the material world, you do many things, but if you don't, sometimes you end up, doing something, the people will only remember the bad things. They forget all the wonderful things that you do, but here the Lord forgets all the bad things a soul does, the living entity does, and remembers even a little thing. If the living entity shows an inclination, the Lord is very happy, to accept the jiva. So that is the kindness of the Lord. So that's what a surrender devotee does, that I am yours, and he fully feels protected and he feels blissful. Just like a child in the lap of the mother has to not to worry about anything, because the mother would look after the child, is completely carefree. Similarly, a surrendered devotee is carefree, because my Lord is there to protect me, and he will surely protect me. So he is very blissful. One attains immortality when he gives up all material activities and dedicates his life to the execution of Krishna's order. Thus, he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th canto, 29th chapter, 34th verse. One attains immortality if he gives up all material activities and dedicates his life to the execution of Krishna's order. We see how Srila Prabhupada, he didn't have any money, he didn't have any manpower. He was, as health-wise also, he was not so great. And his age was also a very ripened age of 70. He crossed to, for this great task of spreading Krishna consciousness. So if you see externally, there are many things which are like not very, favorable, or very supportive, but he gave up everything and completely dedicated his life, to fulfilling the mission of his spiritual master, that is to actually Krishna's order, that my name will be sung in every town and village. That's what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. And he took up that great mission. And we see how the Lord completely reciprocated with, we see in the biography of Srila Prabhupada. So in all the great personalities, the Lord, completely gives them, because they are fully surrendered to his mission. They're not thinking about their own personal, desires. And the Lord, for them, that's what he says, he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. When Prabhupada had a heart attack in the Jalatuta, Prabhupada later said that he saw how Krishna came and personally protected him. If not, he would not have sustained the journey in the sea. So we see that Krishna is always there to protect, and it's Krishna's words. He says that Patens attains immortality when he gives up all material activities and dedicates his life in this order. So this is another important aspect we are discussing is sadhana bhakti. That is what we all are doing now. What is sadhana bhakti? We will see what are the different kinds of sadhana bhakti and all that soon. So sadhana bhakti, one can attain the highest perfection of love of Godhead, which is the most desirable treasure. Devotional service executed by the senses, by which love for Krishna is attained, is called sadhana bhakti. The definition for sadhana bhakti. What is sadhana bhakti? Devotional service, that is seva, executed by the senses, because all our senses, when we engage all our senses in the service of the master of senses, by which love for Krishna is attained, is called sadhana bhakti. So through the eyes, through the eyes, we see the beautiful form of the Lord, the tongue in chanting the holy name of the Lord, ears in hearing about the Lord, the nose in smelling and the fragrance of the flowers offered to the Lord. So like that, when we do devotional service through our senses, by which we can awaken love for Krishna, is called sadhana bhakti. Such devotion eternally exists within everyone's heart and is awakened by the potentiality of sadhana. What happens is that, as we were discussing earlier, we all love Krishna, but because we have forgotten, we are conditioned by the three modes and we have forgotten the Lord. But by doing this sadhana, by doing the seva, engaging our senses, then what happens? Gradually, we awaken our love. Oh, see, Krishna is my master. How I have actually forgotten all this years and births. So we will reawaken our love for Krishna. So sadhana bhakti. So that's what we are all doing now currently. We are sadhana bhaktas. What is the characteristics of sadhana bhakti? Sadhana bhakti's characteristics is there is Swarupa Lakshana, natural characteristics, and Tatashta Lakshana, marginal characteristics. The natural sadhana bhakti means hearing, chanting, remembering, all the 9 processes of devotion service. So what happens when someone does that? He awakens pure love for Krishna. So that is a fruit of it. Yeah, pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya Shavanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Udaya. So basically, it is already there, but we have to water it. Just like a plant gets nourished. So we are watering it by hearing and chanting. Then what happens? The love naturally awakens. So that is why it's very, very important, hearing and chanting. There are 2 here we do. One hearing is hearing the glories of the Lord, qualities and pastimes of the Lord, like what we are doing now in the association of devotees. The other one is we chant the names of the Lord and we hear the names. Again, hearing. It is not just chanting. We chant and we hear the holy name. So hearing the holy name, hearing his pastimes, hearing his wonderful qualities, all this actually helps us to awaken, purify our heart. Then it will awaken love for Krishna, because the heart is contaminated with so many things. That's why we are very, if you ask someone, are you always happy? No one can boldly say that they are always happy, because in a day we get disturbed at so many point of time, like from morning till night, we see how much time we are actually happy. Something or other comes and disturbs us. Either our body is disturbing us, maybe a headache or a cold or a fever, or to something big. The body's, somehow or other gives us something. Now a hay fever season, so people, we get affected by that. So many things like that. So the body gives us pain, anxiety, suffering, and then if not, the mind always thinks on something, this or that, and unnecessarily, and then gets disturbed. Someone says something, or remembering something happened some few years back, or 10 years back, or 20 years back, because mind is like uncontrolled, right? So it can think of future, get fearful, or start lamenting for something what has happened before, hankering for the future. Mind always does all these different tricks and puts us in great anxiety. body, mind, or or some other other people giving us trouble, somebody coming and giving us some pain or causing us some difficulty. So could be a family member, could be anyone else, or in a workplace, or whatever it is. And nature, sometimes it's too much heat, too much cold, sudden rain, different things, cyclones, that this. So all these things constantly disturbing us. Mm. So we are not happy at all. So in a day itself, we are disturbed so much. Hardly we are happy at some point of time. The heart truly feels happy. And what happens? So because disturbed by all the time identifying with our body and mind. That's why Bhagavad Gita's first lesson is, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind as well. Many times we identify ourselves with the mind. The mind constantly dictates us. You're this, you're that, this one they said this 2 days before something happened, 5 days before something happened, 10 years before. Something, it constantly thinks and gets disturbed. Even if nothing is happening, pick something which has happened before and start worrying about it. That's a mind's nature. So then in this kind of condition, how can we actually truly love God? My God, that is a distant subject. Because we are all the time thinking about ourselves only, with our body, with our mind, me only all the time. And in that only we are lost. We are in the cocoon, lost completely. So that's why this constant hearing purifies us and makes us to rise above the three modes. Nistray gunyo bhavarjuna. Oh Arjuna, rise above the modes. Krishna says, don't be stuck in these modes. Rajoguna, Tamoguna, you're stuck. Rise above. So that's why it's so important for us to keep hearing. Then we will give up all this unnecessary dictations of the mind and all these unnecessary things, and then we can truly be happy. If we want to be truly happy, we have to give up this dictation of the mind, and that is possible only by hearing about the Lord. Otherwise, we will only hear our mind. If we don't want to hear our mind, we have to hear about Krishna. We have to hear from Krishna. When we do that, then the mind stops dictating. So that's the only way. So, and this is another important, two types of sadhana bhakti. Even in practicing the devotional service, we are all doing devotional service in practice, because naturally we don't have. It is not that naturally we all the time 24/7 feel so much love for Krishna. We don't do that. We don't feel that. That is why we have to, in simple terms, sadhana bhakti means devotional service in practice. That means following rules and regulations. So we have to, have rules like, okay, get up early in the morning, chant this many number of rounds, read, books. Certain rules are given, so that by following the rules, what happens is that we will feel, we will be able to develop the cloud, because naturally it is not there. Okay. So that is why it is very important we follow those things. So there are two types of sadhana bhaktis there. One is Vaidhi Bhakti, regulative devotion service. That means by rules, someone has to force us, a little bit force should be there. And the second one is very spontaneous. So we will see that what is this Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Those who have not attained spontaneous attachment for devotion service render service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master according to the regulative principles mentioned in scriptures. So naturally it is not coming. So I am under a trainer or under a teacher, spiritual teacher, who guides us and helps us. Okay, follow this. Okay, follow 16. Srila Prabhupada said, okay, chant 16 rounds every day. Do this, do that. Get up in the morning. This all will help you, to develop that final fruit, what we are looking for. So by following the rules, one will get that fruit. Some analogies are also given that. What are the analogies given is that just like a mother is forcing a child, get up in the morning, the child is sleeping, don't want to go to school, but the mother keeps coming and saying, no, you have to get up, come on. All the parents, you have to push the child to school. No child wants to wake up in the early morning, but we are pushing, because by going to the school, gradually the child understands, oh yeah, it is for my good, and he becomes a scholar or whatever. So similarly, that kind of a thing is important. Rules and regulation. The child naturally doesn't go, then you keep encouraging the child and make sure the child does it. So similarly, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is that we don't like sometime, but still we do it, because by doing it we will be cool. Many times we may not like to get up from the bed in the morning, but getting up early in the morning, by doing it, so naturally we see the result. It is like poison in the beginning, but nectar at the end. Even in the material terms, even forget about spiritual thing. Even if someone gets up early in the morning, he can do his work very peacefully, calmly, nicely, without rush, and peaceful mood, and can go and do carry on so many duties and responsibilities very nicely, right? So if this is the case, then even for spiritual life, it is very, very important when someone does anything in the early morning hours that is very conducive, and we feel so happy and relaxed. Say, for example, a person gets up very late. He may feel happy that moment, but then after that, the whole day goes, ulta. Many things you can't do. You rush, you run here, you're there. It's like nectar in the beginning and poison at the end. So rules and regulation looks like poison, but it is nectar at the end. So that is called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Rules are there, which sounds like poison, but by doing it, we can taste the nectar at the end. What else is given? Here glorify and remember Hari. The Supreme Lord is the super soul, supreme controller, and the remover of all miseries, must always be heard about, glorified, and remembered by one who wishes to become fearless. If we want to become fearless, we should always remember the Lord. We should hear about the Lord. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Basically, if you hear about the Lord and if you chant about the Lord, it's very easy to remember the Lord. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Right? By Smaranam, by remembering the Lord, we become fearless. That's why. Bajahure Manashi Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So Govinda Das, the great devotee, he's praying, Bajahure Mana, oh my dear mind, worship. Who? Srinand, son of Nanda Maharaj. What do you get by that? Abhaya Charanara, by worshipping is Srinanda Nandana, what happens? You become fearless. Bajahure Mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So if you want to become fearless, because in this material world, padam padam yat vipadam natesham, at every step there is a danger. So how can we become fearless? We can become fearless by hearing about the Lord, by glorifying the Lord, by remembering his wonderful lotus feet, which alone can give us protection from all the dangers. So that is why it's important to hear more and more and more about the Lord. And that will give us so much of, comfort, fearlessness, and protection. Nothing else can give us that protection. So that is why scriptures are constantly telling us to first thing is to hear. Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras came from Lord Brahma's mouth, arms, waist, and legs, respectively. If one simply maintains an official position in the 4 varnas in the 4 ashramas but does not worship Vishnu, he falls down to hellish condition. Varna ashrama means 4 social orders and 4, we see the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras, and then you have what is the other 4? Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So these are the 4 orders. So it's not that one stick to, okay, I am a very good brahmachari, good grahastha, good, Vanaprastha, good sannyasi. But if Krishna is not there, if the Lord is not there, or if someone executes his Brahmana duty nicely, Kshatriya duty nicely, Vaishya duty nicely, Shudra duty, but there is no Lord, then it is useless. He falls down to hellish condition. So if the Lord is not in the center and one thinks I'm doing everything wonderfully, it is still not complete. So that is the point. Okay. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vishmartavyo na Jatuchit Sarve Vidhi Nishedayasur Etayor Eva Kinkaraha. The golden rule. What is the golden rule? Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So Krishna is the origin of Lord. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be the servant of these 2 principles. What are these 2 principles? always remember Krishna. Sorry. Oh, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So that is the important thing. If we always remember the Lord, we can always be fearless and we can be eternally happy, because just remembering him only awards all auspiciousness, because Krishna is all auspicious. By remembering him, uh, we are connecting to that personality which is who is fully auspicious, who is fully transcendental, connecting to the powerhouse. Then we don't have to be fearless. We can be eternally blissful and happy. So that is a point mentioned here. So always remembering Krishna, never forget Krishna. Very wonderful things are discussed today. So it's nice to recollect all those points. Surrender, aspects of surrender, sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, Raganuga sadhana bhakti. So we are all in Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, following rules and regulations. How important, and throughout we saw the importance of hearing. How important is hearing. So that's why we keep encouraging devotees. Let's all come together and hear about the Lord, glorify the Lord. Then we will be able to remember the Lord. By remembering the Lord, we can become fearless and happy. Okay, done. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Ranjani Mai Prabhu is ready to take us through the quiz. Hari Bol Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for a wonderful class and letting us know the wonderful rule. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And that happens when we keep on hearing and chanting about the glories of the Lord. Thank you so much, Mataji. So we'll go ahead for the quiz, and the question 1 starts from here. So question number 1, which of the following best describe as Saratanga devotees, which initially Mataji has described 2 points. So we'll wait for some 10 seconds. So initially it was being described like Akinchana devotee and Saranagata devotee. Yeah. So yes, the correct answer is B. A person who has achieved full surrender to Krishna without any reservation. And the devotees who have given right answers are Anuradha Achyutapriya Mataji, Karthik Prabhu, and Shruti Mataji. Thank you. Now we'll go ahead for the question 2. And question 2 starts from here. Which of the following is one of the 6 divisions of surrender? So Mataji explaining 6 divisions of surrender, in which one here? We'll wait for 5 more seconds. Hare Krishna. The correct answer is rejection of unfavorable things, like Mataji quoting the sloka also from NOI, like Anukulesha Sankalpa Pratikulesha Varjanam. So yeah, correct answer is B. And the devotees who have given the right answers are Karthik Prabhu, Aruna Mataji, and Anuradha Achyutpriya Mataji. Hari Bol. Now we'll go ahead for question number 3 from here. When a fully surrendered devotee takes shelter at holy place associated with Krishna's pastime, what happens? We'll wait for 5 more seconds so the devotees can answer. And yeah, the right answer is C. The devotee enjoy spiritual bliss and Krishna accept him as a confidential associate. And the right answer is given by the devotees. First is Anuradha Achyutpriya Mataji. Second is Shruti Mataji. And third is Kushma Mataji. Hari Bol. We'll go ahead for the question number 4. From where does pure love for Krishna arise in the heart of living entities? So there are 4 options has been given over here, A, B, and C. I'll wait for 5 more seconds. And the correct answer is C. It is naturally awakened when the heart is purified by hearing and chanting. And the devotees who have given right answers are Anuradha Achityapriya Mataji, Shruti Mataji, and Kushma Mataji. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead for the further last question, question number 5. What is the definition of Vaidhi Bhakti? So Mataji explaining like Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. We'll wait for some 2-3 seconds more if devotee wants to give the answer. And the devotees who have given the right answers, Anuradha Achutpriya Mataji, Shruti Mataji, and the answer is she. It is like service rendered under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master and following regulative principle. And the devotees who given the right answer is Anuradha Achutpriya Mataji, Shruti Mataji, and Sangeeta Mataji. Hari Bol. Thank you so much, devotees, for your wonderful answers. And now this time for the key point, and we'll go ahead further. So Mataji started explaining, beginning from various stories of Bhishma Dev and how Krishna's opulence, uh, and through surrender we can achieve the qualities, and further ahead different types of bhaktis, Raganuga, Vaidhi Bhakti, and many more points has come. So if devotee would like to share some points as a takeaway, they want to implement those characteristics in their life, and some is sharing as caring as well. So if they want to share which they liked most, so I can read it out. So Hinal and Malav has mentioned like, can we please have a link to today's class recording? Yes, Mataji, definitely. This record every time we put in YouTube as well. So maybe I'll put in the group where you can take from there. So every time we do this session, all classes are being recorded and put into the ELBB YouTube, so you can get from there, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Devotees, quick, we can, yeah. Thank you, Vivek Prabhu, for putting here. So Srini Prabhu has mentioned, Lord is a Bhakta Vatsala and would place devotee in the center. Very well, Prabhu. Thank you for putting this word, Bhakta Vatsala. Hare Krishna, devotees. Yeah, we are running out of time. If the kind devotees can quickly mention here. Rita Patel Mataji has mentioned, keep on chanting and hearing and the glorify the glory of the Lord. Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji, for putting such a wonderful point. Lakshmi Kant Prabhu has mentioned, pure love for Krishna is not gained from external sources, but by hearing and chanting, the love of Krishna naturally awakens. That's perfectly fine, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for putting wonderful point. I'll just wait for 1 more minute. Maybe devotee can quickly share. Karthik Prabhu has mentioned, constant hearing is one of the way of surrendering. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you for putting in first slide. Mataji was mentioning about like how we can surrender to the characteristics of the Lord. So that's a very good takeaway, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Lalita Palani Mataji has mentioned, hearing and chanting about Lord Krishna's name always, we will get the mercy from him. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji, for putting point here. And Karthik Pro has mentioned, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna golden rule. Yeah, that is thumb rule. It's like both, if you see, like both are same, but yeah, it's like always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Hare Krishna. I think, yeah, it's like Aruna Mataji has mentioned, like Krishna always keeps devotee in the center, and also pure devotee also does the shame. Yes, Mataji. Hari Bol. So, this Mataji, maybe we can move ahead. Time is going. Meanwhile, if any devotees are putting, I can go ahead. So, Vinil Prabhu, you want to go ahead, or shall I go ahead here?
You go ahead, Prabhu. I will share it.
Mataji, Vinil Prabhu is there? Or...
Hey, you go ahead, Prabhu. You share the announcement.
Yes, Prabhu. So I'll just go ahead. The benefit of hearing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, so CC Madhya Leela 23.1.26. Prabhura Upadeshamrita Sune Ye Jana Achirat Milaya Tantre Krishna Prema Dhana. So translation, whoever hears these instructions given to Sanatana Goswami by the Lord comes very soon to realize love of God Krishna. Hari Bol. So that's like beautiful point. Hearing the Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Hare Krishna. We can go ahead, Mataji, maybe if you can help me to further slides. Yeah, so we have an announcement like yes, Vinil Prabhu, you are there. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, please go ahead.
So the announcements for this week are Tuesday on the 16th of May, we have the appearance of Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur, and the fast breaking time for tomorrow, based on today's Agadas, is from 5 o'clock, 5:07 to 10:20 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. So we can break our fast during that time. Vivek Prabhu, are you there, Prabhu?
Yeah. So regarding the announcement, so we have a wonderful session tomorrow by Dr. His Grace Subh Bilas Prabhu, and he is the renowned person for worldwide preaching. So he's a monk, corporate trainer, and motivator also. So it's nice that if all of us join there. So tomorrow it's from 6 p.m. It will be at venue at near Barkingside Avanti School. So venue yet to decide, but yes, it is going to happen depending upon how many head count we are getting. So I will request all the kids and teens facilitators, and even the kids and teens can join, because Prabhu wants to have an interactive session with teens and kids and even their facilitators. I know it's on short notice and working day, but whoever can join, please join from nearby area, and it will be from 6 to 9 p.m. tomorrow. So prasadam will be also there, so no need to worry, and please join us. So first it will be prasadam, so latecomer will not get the prasadam. That is the thing. So come on time, get the prasadam, and sit patiently for the class. So please join us. Second thing is regarding the Pani Hati. So by now everyone must have got the pot. If not, then it's a red alarm for you if you have not got the pot by now, because we are at the half of the May now. On 2nd of June is the actual Pani Hati, and 4th of June is the Pani Hati celebration in Soho. So please try to get pot. If you are not getting the pot, please engage with your festival lead. They know where the pots are available. You can online or you can go B&Q and collect. So, but we don't have much time for this. So please go and get it and start doing the painting and all. So because by 25th of May, we have to submit all our pictures, 360 degrees videos of your pot, so that leaders can select which pots are eligible for Soho offering. So these two main announcements are from my side, and also a wonderful start today by all the Gita Gyan facilitators. So more than 25 facilitators combinedly started the 11 batches, and all of them went well successfully. And big glories, all glories to this dedicated facilitator who got some time for this preaching thing. And I think Srila Prabhupada must be happy by seeing their preaching efforts. So big Hari Bol for all the facilitators.
Jai, thanks, Prabhu, for your announcements. Yeah, next slide, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hi, Prabhu.
Prabhu, today is Anuradha's birthday, so seeking blessings from all the devotees here.
Haribol, Anuradha Mataji. Yeah, I think we'll come to that, Prabhu. Like once we announce the quiz, then we'll have a birthday thing for Anuradha Mataji, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, so thank you so much for participating. And the winner for today's quiz are refresh your slides.
Can you share the screen, please?
Hare Krishna, Vinil Prabhu. Are you sharing your screen too? Hare Krishna, Vinil Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, just a moment.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the first place we have Anuradha Chittopriya Mataji, Haribol from Dwarkada and
Haribol.
Madhu. And they have got 5 golden extras today. And for second place, we have someone from Mathura Dham, and we've secured 3 golden extras. Shruti Mataji. And for the Jagannath Dham, they have conquered the 1 golden extra today, and that is Kartik Prabhu. Haribol.
Haribol.
Haribol. Hare Krishna. Okay, Anuradha Achutapriya Mataji, are you there? Happy Krishna conscious birthday to you, Mataji. Very nice. You're sincerely attending all the Chaitanya Charitamrita sessions. Not only that, most of the time you're there on the top. Very keen in hearing and always great inspiration for for all the devotees in you doing many devotional, taking up devotional services and your entire family. So we all wish you a very, very blissful Krishna conscious birthday and many more to come. So let us all of us chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra for the well-being of Anuradha Achutapriya Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Conscious
Hare.
Bhakti Mataji. Very wonderful, very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks you all.
Hari Bol Jai, wonderful. So it came on as a Monday CC class, and you have done the quiz, and all the devotees could give their blessings.
And it's a
prayers.
very special day today for the Ekadashi as well, Mataji, on your birthday. So,
Yes, that's true. Jai, Hari Bol. Very happy.
and you will have a very wonderful Jagannath darshan today. Jagannath is looking very magnanimous today. So, on your special day of your parents' day, Mataji, you can have very nice garlands also made by Raghu Prabhu today for Jagannath. So, it's a very nice outfit and
Who's talking?
very beautiful altar today, Mataji.
चलो ना पूजा हो गया फिक्स
ये
क्यों तोड़ देती है सोना
So please bear with us. We'll show the darshan soon. Prabhu, is he coming to show the darshan, Prabhu? Yeah. So very Jagannath is looking great, and with all the devotees who have been involved in the service. Okay.
Jai.
जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय श्री
Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai, Shri Gonitai ki Jai, Panchatattva ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari
Hare
Bol. Jai. Happy Ekadasi, and we see you all next week. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.